Hi, before we get started, I want to let you know there will be some video from the bike, but it's pretty shaky, so there's not that much. Links in the description will skip you ahead to points of interest and also direct you to some of my other motorcycle ride videos. Well, here we are again. A little noisy with the machinery over there, but I left Berkeley at 4 a.m. and it's now 7:15. Got here pretty fast. I'm just outside the Tuolumne Grove at Yosemite. Tioga Road is there, and we're heading out towards the desert. Another motorcycle trip. 8:30 a.m. It was so cold I did not stop once in Yosemite. We're at 9,000 something here, 9,900 feet. And we're gonna drop down 6,000 and it's gonna heat up. All right. Just outside Big Pine, heading in towards Eureka Valley. Let's see how far we get. Might try and go the long way. Last little tiny piece of shade for a while. We're up here in Little Cowhorn Valley. Eureka Valley is just out there. Then it's gonna get real hot and no shade, so I might as well have my lunch up here. It's about noon, so really gonna be sweltering for the next few hours. I'm excited. My trip is well underway here. Yeah, I'm gonna relax, have my sandwich, listen to some music on the headphones, and just enjoy the day. Beautiful. Enjoying the shade, the nice breeze, and the view from my little camp chair here. So comfy. About to get back on the road. My thermometer has been in the sun, so it's reading all crazy. I think it's only about 90, 95 up here. And most of the way down. It's getting hot. Gotta get out there somewhere. So we're down in Eureka Valley. We've dropped about 4,700 feet. We're now at 3,000 feet. And it's about 10 miles to the pavement over there. It's all dirt for this 10 miles across the valley. I was originally thinking about staying down here, but since I really do want to just go that way, I think my best bet, temperature-wise, do this now. I'll hang out up in the mountains till it cools off a little, and then take the other 20 miles of dirt down to Mesquite Springs campground. Got Eureka Dunes out there. Oh, I'm so happy I get to see it. I might have to stand here a minute, maybe have a soda before I venture across this mess. Got lots of ice. I should make it, and there's plenty of water down at Mesquite Springs campground, so I'll be able to refill and wash off and cool off down there. I think I got enough ice to last me till tomorrow. I'm gonna stand here and look at the dunes while I have some Gatorade before I go across. You don't get much view of the dunes while you're going across the valley over there, so might as well get a view now. So the dirt section was only about 8.5 miles and took 25 minutes to cross, so that wasn't too bad. Now I'm back on the pavement. This section is paved because of a sulfur mine up the road here that ran until the 1980s, I think, even. I think they just paved the steep section up the hill because the trucks would just tear it apart. Maybe the valley floor was paved at one time, but it's not anymore, not for years. Here we go up the paved section. It's steep, there's a lot of loose gravel and a few potholes, but it's pretty smooth. Just be careful. We'll pass the sulfur mine at the top, but we can only see a small part of it. There are roads and a gigantic open pit mine, as well as a huge shaft about a mile behind what we see here. We're back on the dirt, and although it was graded over the last year, there are some sections that are rough. Watch how much I have to slow down. Here's a few seconds in real time so you can see what it's like to do this on a street motorcycle. It's bumpy. Alright, made it through Hanging Rock Canyon, and the next couple miles is a 1,500-foot drop down to Crankshaft Crossing, so I'm going to shut the motorcycle off and coast. I don't need the engine to use the brakes, and there's not much need for lights in this bright daylight, so I'm going to save some gas. Makes for a nice, quiet ride down to Crankshaft. There it is, good old Crankshaft Crossing. I need to make a new sign. Somebody needs to anyway. We'll see who gets it done. Anyway, I'm going that way. That way goes to Nevada, and that way goes to Death Valley. I got about 20 more miles of dirt. It's gonna be a slow, bumpy ride, but it is already about 5 p.m. And you know, it's been around 100 all day. It's fine, no big deal. Worst possibility, I could walk this if I had to. That's the thing. If you're gonna do a dirt road like this, you better be ready to walk. Worst possibility, you gotta wait till dark and walk. You would not want to try and walk something like this during the day. But you know, worst possibility, you're trapped. I mean, I haven't seen anybody. I saw a couple cars when I came in the road. That was 50 miles ago. Nobody out here. Definitely picked the right time to do this. As bumpy as it is, the road's in surprisingly good condition. I knew that because I'd been out here a month ago. And the weather's working out. It's windy. It's probably it's 100, maybe a little over 100, but my last thermometer reading was 100. This is Death Valley Wash. It crosses the road here, and a tributary crosses again south of here. Occasionally they flow with such force that they can just wipe parts of the road out and turn this little crossing into a muddy, sandy mess that no one can get across. Fortunately, that doesn't happen too often. There are a few patches of deep sand to watch out for. Nothing major, but you wouldn't want to hit them too fast. For the most part, this is just a bumpy, slow ride. Enjoy the views. Tin Mountain in the distance is almost an optical illusion. Note the view of the road in front of us, and then this next clip is a good 5 to 10 miles south of the last one. Not so much washboard here, but the recent grading, they just churned up so much rock. It's loose, deep rock. You think you're okay, you start going faster, and then you're all over the road because it gets deep. It's not so bad in a car, but on a street motorcycle, I've almost lost it a couple times. But only a couple miles to go now. There's the end of the dirt. We're back on the pavement just after sunset. Campground is just a couple miles that way. Nice little spot. Bathroom and water over there. Beautiful sunset over there. Got the place all to myself on a Saturday night. 1,800 feet elevation. It's 98 degrees now at about 8 o'clock p.m., 7:45. And soon, it'll probably get down to about 80 degrees overnight. We'll see what it is in the morning. I'm gonna get some food and rest. It's 7 a.m. and it's 75 degrees already. I don't think it even got below 70 overnight. Feels cold today after being in 100 degrees all day yesterday, but no, it's not all that cool. One other site got occupied last night, so sharing a 40 site campground with one other group. I think there's like 2 or 3 people there. It's real quiet. People come here for the solitude. They set up way on the other side of the campground, so it's still as if I had it to myself. 9 a.m. It's already 86 degrees. About to get moving. Tiny bit of shade at the edge of the campground, and that'll be it for a long ways. And as we start heading down that smooth, windy pavement into the central part of Death Valley, I feel inclined to warn you, watch your speed. At one point I checked my mirror and the police were behind me. I don't know for how long, but as soon as he saw that I saw him, he took off. He was just waiting to see if I would speed or not. Speeding tickets are big revenue, and there are a lot of accidents out here. So please be careful and take it easy out here and just enjoy the view. Under a shade structure at the little picnic area at the intersection of 190 and the North Highway. Those are the mesquite sand dunes out there, and we're at about sea level. We'll run into the highway out there and take it down to Furnace Creek. Later on we'll go to Stovepipe Wells, you can see out there. Just after 10 a.m. and it's 100 degrees. So nice out here. Stand with the wind to your back, it's silent. Mister's on full blast at Furnace Creek Ranch today. I guess this is called the Oasis now or whatever. I don't know. Very nice. Sea level's way up there. Down here at Badwater. Lowest point in North America at 282 feet below sea level. Somewhere out there is the actual low point. Hanging out in the shade, drinking a little soda. Got a nice cup of ice. Not very much water in the pond right now. You can kind of see that white edge. It usually is a little more full. And I'm just gonna ride back up to Stovepipe Wells, about 30 miles that way. I've taken the ride that way to Baker many times, and when it's this hot, it gets a little dangerous. It is super beautiful, but it's long, and I'm already getting overheated from yesterday. So I got something a little different in mind for today. Took a little walk onto the salt flat. After walking around some and looking around, it's 1 p.m. I'm reading 112. It's going to keep getting hotter because there's heat radiating off of all of the sand and rocks and everything. North of Furnace Creek now, still about 100 feet below sea level. Salt flats are way out there. There's some salt. Reading 111. Not too bad at all, really. But still, like I said, it's a little too hot to take the southern route. That takes a couple hours. Just enjoying the stark emptiness of it all. Hanging out here for a little while, walking back and forth. It's 1:13. I've been standing here a little while. It feels pretty good. Got a light breeze. It's a lot hotter on the motorcycle though because of all the heat coming off the engine. Even though you get more wind, it's hotter. So, I think I have a plan. Got myself a nice cold cream soda over here at Stovepipe Wells. And yeah. Bike is there. Lounging at the pool. This is so nice. Just gonna go back in the pool. I can go, the restaurant is right there. Stovepipe Wells is at sea level. Those are the mesquite sand dunes out there. Nice view of them from here. In a little shade behind one of the structures. Next, I guess I'm gonna just head straight across and then go south to Baker. Already had lunch in the saloon, and I'll get another swim before I head out. I was reading 111 when I got here. It's now 4:30 p.m. a couple hours later, and it's 109, so looks like it's getting cooler, just barely. Gone swimming. I'll watch this view for a while and start heading towards Baker. Had to pass through Furnace Creek again, and it's 113 down here at 190 feet below sea level. But it should cool off a little as I go east, up and out of the park. I'm about to drive through this stuff east to 127 and then south to Baker. On top of the little pass above Death Valley, and we're looking east out of Death Valley. 105 up here and breezy. Oh, it's nice. This is perfect. Most of the interesting scenery between here and Baker was in last year's video. I'll just mention that I can stop in Shoshone for some ice cream and soda. And it's only about 80 miles to Baker, so not too bad. Making a quick stop in the shade along 127 here. It's just so nice I couldn't resist stopping and taking a look.
I was hoping we could read this sign over here, but we can't. We'll get to that in a minute. But we have a piece of the Amargosa River flowing above ground here. It's coming in from over there, pooling up over here. It flows down that way and then basically goes back underground at the road. It stays underground and goes up. It does a U-turn south of here and ends up, its terminus is that pool of water at Badwater that we saw earlier at the low point. It originates 100 or more miles north of here, almost entirely underground, but it pops up in a few places, and especially after storms, it might flow more freely in other places. Makes for a couple of nice cool spots along the highway.
Well, looks like we gotta walk all the way back around because I don't want to step on any of this. I thought maybe there would be a way across to see the sign.
Well, I walked all the way over here, and okay, so this was another borax works, and the comedy of this one is they worked here in the summer compared to Death Valley in the winter where there was another mine, and the temperature difference is like 5 degrees. It's still 110, 115 out here. It's crazy. Since that sign faced the road, I had to come up the shoulder, and now I have to walk back along the shoulder to the bike over there. And of course, while I'm doing that, some guys in a truck think I'm stranded and almost get into an accident making a U-turn to come check on me. I do appreciate it, but please be careful out there. I'd really rather people only stop if I'm flagging them down or look hurt. But me walking on the shoulder, I'm sure I looked like I was in trouble. But still, don't wreck yourself over some idiot that got himself walking along a desert highway. I mean, a U-turns, you gotta be careful making a U-turn out here. All right, next stop, Mojave Preserve. Made it to the little roadside camp in Mojave National Preserve. That is the famous Sunday night traffic back to Los Angeles from Las Vegas. Fortunately, all I had to do was go across the freeway on the bridge to get here, but I will have to listen to the lost souls who think they're taking a shortcut through the preserve go by me all night. They're going to find out it doesn't really help.
The road is there. I'm at good old lava camp in Mojave Preserve.
That wall of rock is actually the edge of an ancient lava flow. It originated from some cinder cones we'll see later on. The lava covers many square miles, many.
Not going to do too much today. Go down to Kelso Depot and check in with the rangers and just hang out in this side of the park. Providence Mountains, those are like 20 miles away. We're headed down to the bottom of this valley. 11 a.m., it's 95 degrees. I checked in with the rangers over there at the Kelso Depot. Shade over here. And momentarily I will head back to the vicinity of where I was sleeping last night. This little piece of shade under a Joshua tree. Just gonna hang out and enjoy the day. What's nice is Baker's only about 20 miles that way. I can get ice and food and everything later on. Just after 2 p.m. 105 in the shade, a light breeze. It's very nice. Just realized my camera was set to manual focus.
Those last couple of clips were a little blurry. That's better.
Well, they're disappearing quickly. They're blocking just enough of the sun that these clouds, I think, are why it's 105 instead of 110 right now.
There's one of the cinder cones. It's a whole field of them over there. A cinder cone is basically a small volcano made up entirely of lava.
Moved my chair a little to stay in the shade, but otherwise not doing very much, just hanging out. It's beautiful. It is 3,000 feet elevation here. I'll have to check the elevation down in Baker. It's a little lower, I don't know how much. It's probably hotter down there. Around 5 o'clock I'll head into Baker, get a milkshake or something, cool off for a while, and then come back and set up before it gets dark this time. This little dirt road I'm parked on goes to the lava tube out there, which is a popular tourist site. But I've only seen one car come through and go back, and one other car that just didn't even get as far as my motorcycle before they decided to reverse back. It's kind of sandy, definitely very bumpy. Other than that, I occasionally hear a car go by on the main road, which is about 300 yards behind me. That's it, just me and the wind, and the insects and birds. I feel it getting hotter as I started coming down the hill. Baker, 113. We're at about 800 feet, maybe 900 feet elevation here. Much lower, much hotter. 5 p.m. at the good old Mad Greek. Gonna get some food. Then I'll get some more supplies at the country store and head back into the preserve. Sun is just about down and I'm back over here. Much cooler. It's below 100 already. Now I got lots of ice and cold drinks. Just gonna relax. And then tomorrow I got the long ride home. (8 a.m. Yesterday I was out there and I noticed the shade is much better over here, so yeah, still in the shade. Well, great, I got one extra adventure. Bees have latched on to my water that's dripping out of there, so they're swarming the bike. I am slowly putting my stuff on one piece at a time and running away to keep from angering them too much, but it's going to be interesting trying to pull out of here. Oh gosh. Made it safely away. Oh my gosh, that was just so nerve-wracking. I was just running back and forth, putting things on one at a time, and then just took off so fast because every time I came near the bike they were swarming me, but fortunately they were not aggressive. Whew. Well, that was enough adventure. Alright, I got only 10 miles left in the park and then start heading home. 10 a.m. .98 degrees up here in Tehachapi, but we're out of the desert into the semi-arid normal California. Pretty nice view here. Just down the other side of that hill is Bakersfield, and then I'll be on the 5, the big empty. Nothing. So that's just about it. Another successful trip. I've still got about 5 hours of riding ahead of me, but it's not going to be very exciting. About 4 p.m. and about 100 degrees. Had lunch in Bakersfield, and there's Interstate 5. That's about it. It's just a dusty, smoky, barren mess. At least it's nice and fast. And I'll be home in about 200 miles, but there's really nothing else to look at after this. That's it. You're looking at it. That's what I am looking at for the next 3 or 4 hours. All right, folks, it's been a great trip. Thanks for coming with me.